think that I was just so proud of everyone and just a bit exhausted that I didn't cry. But I mean, it was emotional nonetheless, and the fact that we made it that far. Because at first you feel like it's never gonna end, and then it ends and you're like, oh, I guess it's over now. But I think I was just so exhausted, between being exhausted and needing the energy to go home. It definitely happened more in private quarters. It was in there, especially when we did our doors down and we go around and we thank just the crew for being there. Hearing Morgan, the cinematographer, just kind of talk about what we've had to survive for the show and just try to get through. It was there hanging, and I was just like, just don't let them drop just yet. Actually, it was funny because my first AD made a joke, Bobby, about whether or not it was actually the martini, because we just keep adding things. So he said it's the tentative martini. At that point, since it was just the very end, I was more focused on just getting things that may not even be used, because we had extras still, we still had the actors, we still had more media, and I was just like, what can we get? And we still had another 10 minutes, so I was looking around, I was like, okay, maybe an extra walk here and walk there. At that point, I was just kind of being more silly and playful and just trying to take advantage of every dime I've spent. Like seeing the story kind of come together, seeing what works and what doesn't, it kind of gives you more of a perspective about whether or not your script will actually be the thing that the audience sees. It could be a completely different order, but I think it better prepares you so that in the next time you can just be a little bit more efficient and accurate and just write exactly what you plan to see. Molly's my editor, and she's like putting all these pieces together, and she's, you know, kind of making choices on certain moments, and then we're also collaborating on what I feel like I need for the story, and, you know, just kind of seeing it all come together, and excited that I don't have to be the one to do it, honestly. Yeah, I'm very glad that this program is built upon collaboration, because I think I would be worried about too many other things if I had to be my own editor. So just very glad that we can collaborate together and I can be a bit hands-off. So what's next for our terminal is we just finished our first cut screening with the faculty, with our directing professor and our editing professor, and they discuss kind of what's working, what's not. The most exciting part about it actually is like when they're disagreeing, because it kind of reminds you that this whole thing it's a mixture of professional experience but also just subjectivity. Like the fact that they're disagreeing shows that people will have different opinions. After this, I mean, I go on to another production and then we start summer, so it's around mid-July when I go back into the official post-production for our terminal. It's like 2 weeks of finalizing the picture edit, and then immediately I jump into 2 weeks for sound, where I'm the sound designer, and then we mix for the film, and then instantly we color, and then we graduate. Like, I'm very much pushed all the way at the end, where it's very back to back to back to back. It definitely confirmed the fact that, one, I do enjoy directing, and two, I think I have the potential to be great at it. Being able to make the decisions, you know, having confidence in your own creative voice and knowing what you want to see, and using your team on figuring out how to get there. I mean, all of that was so much fun. Just being in thesis production in general also shows you what you kind of don't want to do. So like, I'm very glad that, at least currently, maybe I'll change my mind in the future, but like, I'm very glad that I didn't have to be a cinematographer for any of them. It just would not have been fun. To me, it's like all of these jobs are stressful, but which stress do you enjoy? There was a point where I considered becoming a producing specialist, and I think I also would have been very great at it, but it wouldn't give me the same light that directing does. Alrighty, well, technically nothing, since nothing is officially planned, but hopefully it's to move to LA, and depending on how I feel about how this film kind of comes together, I can see already now that a story like this could be a feature length. So the goal is to kind of work on extending that and using the short film as sort of like a showcase. Like, look, this is like a teaser to what could be a 90-minute film. I have a bit of savings that may be able to kind of help me with that. Then maybe just kind of move into more working, like, you know, I think it's important to still work on sets, PAs. I mean, that's another way to meet people and stuff like that. But I'm always trying to remember that I want to make the things I want to make. So not forgetting that or getting like too sucked into something. Kind of take a similar path that I was doing while I was teaching, which is kind of maybe working and then using that other time to kind of really focus on the things I really want to make. I just know it can be a bit tricky. I think I want to like come in with my energy, kind of recover it and high to like really get maybe something pushed forward, and then, you know, take another path if I feel like it's necessary. Yeah.